Oh, there we go. All right. Let's play this game versus Pranav. Looks like we're going into the fantasy Caro-Kann. Is he going to take? He is. So far, we've played along this line a couple times. I wonder if he looked into this. He was gonna look up how to play this line as black. This is in my notes. Let me think here. Here I just come here, don't I? And I'm attacking his f7 pawn. This is directly a game that we had already. He's going to play rook here, presumably. Maybe I'll go here. I think that is worse, though, to come here. I play here. This is literally, this entire game we played so far, this is following a game that we played last time. Maybe not the direct last time, but one of our most recent times we played, we got this exact position in this exact same move order. And last time he played here, which if he does that again, I play queen here. If he doesn't do that again, then I'll actually have to think. I wonder if he recognizes that we've had this position. Pranav, if you watch this later, send me a text and tell me if you recognize that we've had this position before. Interesting. He's just giving up this piece. And then I guess the idea is that after he takes, my knight is hanging. I could just wait and play here, and then after this I just move my king over. And his knight still can't move away in that case because I would have a mate on this square. Let's go ahead and do that. I like that. So his knight is pinned because if he moves it, then I have a mate here, and he has no way of moving it while also protecting that square. And again, I'm not worried about that check. I'll just slide over. Now I can take, and if he takes, then I take, and then he takes, and I take, and my knight is defended, but then he takes here, and so I don't really get much out of that. I could take, I think maybe I do want to move my knight, maybe Let's move this knight first. That pawn isn't going anywhere. And his knight still can't move or its mate. So I may as well get my knight out of danger before I take his. Jesus, it is so cold in my house. I don't understand why. Isn't it like, it's pretty warm outside, right? Yeah, it's 78. And I'm shivering. Alright, I think the time has come to cash in on this. This knight. So now this knight is also pinned. Because again, I still have mate if he moves it. So do I have a good method for exploiting that? What if I threw this pawn forward and then he takes and I take? I guess he could just drop his bishop back. Okay. I can fork his knight and his bishop. Seems decent. I can just start bringing my other pieces into the game. And if we trade a bunch on this square, then I think I'm winning a pawn. Let's say he plays here. Then I have takes, takes, takes. And I win a pawn back. This knight is defended. And I'm threatening this pawn. And he doesn't have a way to defend it. I guess he could bring his king here. It's an interesting move. So he's preventing me from taking here now, unfortunately. He's also, I had another idea of sacking here and then taking. But that doesn't work anymore because he can take this way. Maybe I do throw this pawn up. That might be the move. Or I'd try and get this knight somewhere. I don't really know where I would put it though. Could try and get this bishop involved. This trade, the way I'm offering it, allows him to move his knight though, which isn't really what I'm looking for. What if I came here and then here? I guess that drops this pawn. Also, this trade drops that pawn. This is tricky. Maybe I do take and then I drop my... No. I don't like that. Alright, I'm gonna swing my rook out this way. Kind of weird, but we're just gonna go with it. I guess I could have just dropped this pawn, but then he's got... I'm not so much worried about losing this pawn as I am about him getting his bishop here and then protecting the promotion of this pawn. That would be bad. Oh, he sent, I hate the fantasy variation. I didn't notice that. That's funny. Before he was like, I like to take because it creates a chaotic game and it's a lot more fun. And then now he's like, I hate the fantasy variation. I think here I had this move, didn't I? And then if he takes... no, I guess it wasn't as good because my knight wasn't here. Like, that doesn't really do anything. Wait, isn't this just mate now? Am I crazy? All right. 3 blunders, wow. Okay. I was gonna say I wanted to review first, but we can do the rematch. All right, so as usual, we have a Catalan. And I played this variation, which I'm forgetting the name of now. I almost accidentally played King F8 instead. I'm supposed to take here. Why is this house so cold? Okay, I think that's the move that I have in my notes. In which case I play my knight here. Okay, that is new for me. I'll have to look at what you do against this later on. My initial thought is just to trade knights. That gives him a very strong center though. I guess the pawn on c3 would be a little bit weak. I don't really have a great square. I guess I could come here and kick his queen away. And that allows me to get here, which looks really strong. expecting him to play queen here to hit the pawn, in which case I'll play my pawn up here. He plays queen there instead. It's interesting. Okay, let's pin the knight. This is an interesting game so far. Lots of maneuvering. This pawn is currently hanging. Okay, I think I can play here. And then his queen will have to come here, probably, or just go back. And then I can take and take. Okay, I think my priority should be winning this pawn, if possible. And that's interesting. I was not expecting that. Is his idea that he's gonna win this rook? That was my next thing I was gonna talk about. Interesting. I was definitely not expecting that. So he's attacking this pawn. I need to be careful about taking, if I take here and then take, and then I take here, he's going to push this pawn forward and my rook will be trapped. If I drop my bishop back here, he's going to play this. I think I need to play here in order to defend the pawn. And I can bring my knight, I don't know where I can bring it, here I guess. Whoops, here. I guess if things, maybe I should have just started bailing out and I'm up a piece and just trade everything off, and if he gets this pawn, I'm up a piece, so who cares? That was probably the move, actually. We'll see after the game. I just really am attached to that knight's positioning. Okay. Well, now I still have that option of bailing out. I can take here, and then he takes. I come here, and if he takes this pawn, then I can take the knight. Let's go ahead and do that. I think that's probably the safest option. Oh, he pre-moved that. Where's his knight gonna go? I feel like this is really his only option. Because if he comes here, then I could take it. Although then he has this move, opening up the attack on my bishop, or my rook rather, but then my bishop could come here, and he's pinned, so I don't think that that works. If he comes here, then I'll just take it. If he comes here, whoops, here, then I'll take that. And then he does have the pawn move forward. Oh, I can't take this actually, because that would blunder my queen. Good thing I didn't play that. Okay. Let's think for a second. So he's threatening to come here and win the rook. I think I just need to get my knight out. That way when he plays that move, my rook has room to move. And that's guarded, so there's no shenanigans there. And I don't think his knight has any scary moves around my king. So I think if he does still play this, my next move is going to be to come here. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have pretended like I didn't see this. Because if he plays here, then I can play here and his queen is cut off from protecting the knight. And then if he takes, don't I just have a mate? Interesting. I was not expecting that. Okay, let's try and kick the queen out before we do anything. If he takes and tries to do like a dangerous levels thing, I can take his rook with check and then take his queen. And so we're fine. I didn't think about that before I played the rook b8 move, but luckily it just works out. Okay. I could play here still. Ah, damn, I had a really good move when he did this. I should have played bishop takes with check. Damn, I wish I'd seen that. Now he's guarding that too. Although I could play it and then take... No, but then he takes there and I lose my piece advantage. Let's think for a second. And try and get my knight. I want his queen to stop guarding the knight. So how can I do that? Or ideally even this. I can't play here because then I drop the knight. I could come here. Maybe I come back here. But then he takes, and I take, and then he takes. So that's not good. Let's come here. He still can't take because his queen's hanging. There's not mate here because I have a bunch of defenders. And if he takes his eye off this pawn, then I'm going to take with check. I've also now successfully made an escape square for my bishop, which might just be the move to get out of it that way. Okay, so I have this check. But then if he blocks, I don't really see anything amazing there. I could play here. I think I'm just going to bring my bishop back here and just play solidly. And I can, after kicking his queen, I can reroute it to here or here. Ideally here, but one thing at a time. Now I could play here, he takes, and then I take. And I'm also threatening to come here. I could play check. His king moves away. And then I come here. His queen moves away, but then I don't really see a mate. Let's just go with this. I think this is good. He's forced to take that. And I'll take here. I guess I'll probably play this. Yeah. I could just offer a queen trade. Let's go ahead and queen trade. He decides to play there instead. Okay. I thought for a second that I had trapped my queen, but I guess this is fine. Let's come here. careful. I wanted to trade queens earlier, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and play here. Offer a rook trade. Just play here for now while I think about what I want to do. Obviously, I'm going to take that en passant. Good game. That was close. Looks like he's sending out a rematch. Obviously, we're playing the fantasy. He takes again. Castle. This is not correct, or maybe it is because his knight is there. Don't I have take here, knight check, his king moves, and then I come here and I get back the bishop, and his king is in bad position? I wonder if you're supposed to come here or the other way. I guess here, that way you can take with the knight. Because once his king moves, the knight won't be pinned anymore. Alright, well this is good. This is a very nice construction. Because his rook is never getting out of that jail. I mean, I guess he could play like pawn here and bring his rook out that way, but who's gonna do that? Maybe I come here. Oh, don't know what I almost clicked. That would have been bad. Maybe I come here and threaten mate. You'd have to play queen here to defend it. And then I can bring my bishop out. I guess then he plays knight here. But then I played pawn. Actually, wait a second. Don't I just have mate right here? I wonder if Pranav saw that and was just like sweating, like, please don't see it. I'm glad I ended up seeing that. I would have been very sad. Yeah, I don't think moving the king this way is the right idea. I think you gotta come back. Saving, you know, precious milliseconds. So he takes. This is the first time that we've had that. That's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. I could really open it up and just take, and presumably he's going to take it with the rook. In which case I will... Not sure what I'll do actually. I could just develop, and then after he takes, I can bring my queen in. But I don't like that that allows him to get some sort of discovery. Let's play here, maybe. Seems kind of passive, but whatever. In a minute I'm going to play knight here, and I'll be pressuring this pawn. I was between bishop e6 and e6. I just didn't really know what my bishop was going to do if I played e6. My bishop is bad, but it's defending some good pawns, so. Okay. I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is. He's opened up another attacker here, but I already have two defenders, so we're fine. He can't take this or this. He can't come here, and he can't come here, and he can't take that. I think I'm just gonna kick him out. Okay. Well, I have the option of playing here, and then if he takes, I guess I could take with the rook. Whoops, whoops. Let's come here first, I think. Completing development is always a good idea. And I block off his bishop along this diagonal. And I don't think the move f5 is going anywhere. Yep, here it is. So I'm hitting his knight. I'm hitting this pawn in the center. And if he takes, I am not dropping this pawn because I'll take with my rook, which I think is fine. I don't see anything super dangerous about it. I guess he could play here. Well, now it seems like I definitely want to take like this, right? That opens up the rook, locks his bishop in jail. And if I take this way, this pawn is a little bit weak, and the rook is not open. And I can take this pawn at some point if I want. Might even be better to take with the knight, actually. Then my knight is threatening to get over here. I think I'm going to play queen up and try and trade off this way. So I think my Christmas list of what I want from this position is queen up. That is interesting. I was not expecting that. He's got a fork now. That makes sense. So if I take, he's going to take here. But what if I come here and he takes, and then this, and he can't take with his queen, and I'm just winning in exchange? Or I guess I'm giving up, well, he gave up a piece, so I think, yeah, I'm just up in exchange in that variation. And he can't take here because I would win his queen. I don't see anything better than just taking the rook. Let me look for a little bit. Yeah, I don't think that there is anything better. So he's threatening this pawn. Bring my queen up here, which is a pretty, protects the pawns and it's pretty active. I could also bring my bishop here, because then if he takes, then I take. And then at the end of that line, I'm just up. A queen and a rook versus a bishop and a rook. I'll try and go for that line. I guess this doesn't actually work. I don't know why I was thinking it was check. Well, maybe I do want it to be check. Maybe I take with the rook. Rather than the bishop. I like the idea of getting a tempo here. if I bring the rook, that seems stronger to me. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking if I took with the bishop he was forced to take that. I mean, that makes no sense. I was imagining it was check there for some reason. Okay. See, I can come here and attack the pawn and his knight at the same time. Oh, but he can then take that pawn. But that wouldn't defend his knight. So I'm threatening to come here with check or take the knight. And I don't see a way for him to defend both. Well, I have a nice tactic. Depending on what he does, I could play here. And then if king takes, I play here. And then I'm winning his queen. Depends what he does, though. I thought for a second he was going to play bishop here. I think that would have been strong, kind of trying to do the opposite. So I think my idea still works, right? I play here, if he takes, I play here, and either way that he takes or moves out of check, his queen will be undefended. And I'll just be up a queen and a rook versus a bishop and a rook. Holy shit, I almost mouse slit that. Could you imagine if I had just accidentally moved my queen here? That would have been so sad. Well, it's not mate because I'm defending that. So I'll just take this pawn. No reason to allow it to survive. I almost just hung my queen, but didn't. let's I guess I'll go ahead and come here and try and win this pawn. I need to get rid of this bishop. It's preventing me from moving my rook, which is annoying. Just take these pawns. Not sure what the purpose of that move is. If I take this, I don't see anything that he has that's particularly dangerous, so let's just take it. And then I'm going to start shoving these pawns up. So that allows me to finally move my king, and I don't have to worry about back rank issues. That was dumb. Went the wrong way. God damn it. Still be fine, maybe. What to do now? I can't play here. Play here. This should still be winning for me. Oh, he still resigned. Okay. I guess he felt he didn't have enough time. That was a pretty dumb mistake, though. As soon as I played it, I was like, God damn it. I literally did that because I just didn't want to play here and then have him check again. And then but I could have just continued this way, like there was no reason to be worried about that. Oh well, good games.